appears to be. Okay. All right. I think we're in Fat City. Brian, here goes. The show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Who are you? Where are you from?
My name is Major Andrea Steele. I'm an astronaut.
You are from Earth?
How could you know that?
I was once an astronaut.
You're not Marlena Glenn.
Well, yes, I am, or was.
But you disappeared.
You know what I call that? I call that cheating.
The morning stream, 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 the morning.
This is the morning stream.
The morning stream, the morning stream, the morning stream, the morning stream.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the morning stream. That cracked me up for some reason. It's the TMS show, for Tuesday, February 11th, 2020. I'm Scott Johnson. He's Brian Ebbett. Hi, Brian.
Hello, Scott. How are you?
Good. I'm going to pretend that this morning wasn't a slapdash attempt to make sure the stream worked and that there wasn't a bunch of problems and it all went just like normal. It was just fine. Mm-hmm. So let's just pretend that was true.
Okay, sounds good. I'm all for that.
If you're fine with that, I'm fine with that. We'll just continue our day as if nothing happened. I won't even mention it. I won't even bring it up like I am right now. I'm just going to not.
Too late.
Oh, well, all right then.
As in, long story short, too late.
I've done it. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the show. It's good to have you all here. And we're excited to be here because it's Tuesday. And one of our guests is in New Hampshire.
Oh, is it Bernie Sanders?
No. Give another guess. Another guess.
Boot Edge Edge?
It's not Boot Edge Edge. It's definitely not Boot Edge Edge.
Is it Amy Klobuchar?
It's definitely not. She has a barf name. Her name is Barf.
Klobuchar. Actually, it sounds like a transformer. Klobuchar, go defend the eastern region.
Whoa. They assign a transformer to the entire eastern region. Wow.
Yeah, it's like, okay, you take care of the eastern region. Optimus Prime, I'll sit here and guard the central.
Yeah, it's
central
like
region.
It's like
call the shots from here.
It's like a rep for one of the pharmaceutical companies. You've got the eastern region.
Don't spend too much on your per diem, Klobuchar.
I don't know why that's so funny, but it is. It's very funny. All right, a couple quick things here on our beautiful. I guess I should say, with Justin Robert Young is going to be on later. He's in.
That's the guy who's in New Hampshire.
He's
right?
in New Hampshire. Yeah, he's in where the hobbits are. He's trying to get the Hobbit vote.
I hope he's got his Charmander suit, his onesie.
That's what I was hoping. It doesn't sound like he's gone that far this time. I think he's. Didn't he say last time it's because he's on the dime of his Triple P viewers that he feels like he can't.
Got to be take it a little more seriously, probably.
Yeah, I think that's going on a little bit. But anyway, he'll be here to kind of give us an update on what's going on, what he saw on the floor. I guess they already have results in from yesterday, which is notable because the Ohio stuff was so jacked up.
Iowa.
Or what'd I say? Oh, I said Ohio, didn't I? I do that all the time. The Ohio primaries.
It's a four-letter state name, and they both have an O in it.
Yeah.
And they both have an I in it.
Those Ohio caucuses, famous for their Ohio.
Why don't we just merge them and call it Ohioa?
Oh man, I just tried to look up the results and everything in my face is coronavirus takes 1,000 bodies or 1,000 people. That's no good. 1,000 people dead. That's not good. That's not good.
No.
Yeah, and that's by the way more than SARS ever did.
Yeah.
So.
No, coronavirus is it's no day on the beach.
Did you know that SARS was also a coronavirus?
Oh, really? No, it's just a different flavor.
Yeah,
like it's a Corona Light virus.
So I guess they get their name.
Smith and coronavirus.
Some actual scientist wants to tell me I'm an idiot. That's fine. I have no problem with that. But I believe my understanding is it's because when you look at these things under a microscope, they look like a sun corona, like a sphere with spikes sticking out of it. Yeah, kind of like that. And so they called it a corona.
You know how I know this?
How do you know
this? Because in my email today, I get I belong to a couple of websites that provide files for 3D printing, right?
Yeah,
So it's like,
yeah.
oh, 3D print this family of gnomes for your D&D campaign, or
Sure.
print this. Today I got one for print the coronavirus. And I'm like, oh, so that's what it looks like. A little water, like a sea mine, ocean mine, like a mine that you'd see floating in the ocean in 1960s cartoons.
Yeah.
With a small intestine all tangled up in the middle of it.
Oh, geez. All right. Don't want to
Yeah.
think about that now. Suddenly I'm.
Yes. Anyway, I'm sorry. So SARS.
SARS.
We think is a.
They said it was a
a
coronavirus style virus. So if you looked at it, it'd be like that. And then there was a third one that came from pigs or something, and I forgot the name of it. It's not the norovirus. It's some other one. But that also
not
is
the
one. Oh, MERS. That's the
Asian
one.
bird flu. MERS.
MERS. Yeah.
MERS.
Yeah, the MERS virus, which I guess is a thing.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Pig virus.
Yeah, nobody wants
Pig
pig
virus
virus.
just sounds horrible.
Sounds horrendous, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, where'd you get your virus? Oh, from a pig.
From a pig.
Yeah. What kind of pig? A clean pig? A house trained pig? No. Some nasty ass freaking disgusting out in the wild laying in his own shit pig. That's the kind of pig I got it from. Anyway.
Is it wrong of me to want to go on to one of the, I can't even think of one of the online shopping areas that gets a lot of stuff from China. I mean, I know Amazon does. I know all of them get a lot of stuff from China, but stuff that is shipped directly from China. And maybe, I don't know, buy some small inexpensive gifts that are packed in China with Chinese bubble wrap that's filled with Chinese air, and and have it sent to our fearless leader. Is that wrong of me to think
Well,
want to send some gifts?
I'm glad you brought that up because I don't. So I've been getting these. Where is this? Did I talk about this yesterday? I think I did.
I don't know if you did.
These Cha-Cha brand. Did I not talk about this?
No, cha-chas.
Who did I talk to about this?
I hear Joni loves cha-chas.
Anyway, sunflower seeds. They're roasted, spicy sunflowers. They're not really spicy. They taste kind of sweet. But anyway, these are. I get these from the Asian market, and these come directly from mainland China. Let's see. Let's check here.
Ooh. So,
should I not do that anymore? Should I not go get a fresh batch of my cha-chas?
I imagine those are probably packed months and months and months ago. But
In theory, yeah.
I know. It seems it's probably one of those things where we're just like, oh my God, I'm afraid of anything from China.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, like, you think, all right, somebody has it. They don't know they have it. They're still at work. They're boxing up little plastic Spider-Man toys
Yeah,
to ship out to some doofus in Arvada, Colorado. And
sure. We know that guy.
seal it up with some tape, and there you go. And then
They cough on your Spider-Man.
they cough on my Spider-Man. Wasn't that something that I want to say that there was a Simpsons episode with that, right?
Oh, maybe there might have been. But no, it wasn't the Mr. Sparkle episode. It was something like that, though, where a disease was sent around the world and Homer got it or something.
Yeah, exactly. Something like that. Yeah.
I hope I hope not, and I hope I can keep going there. Like, Korea's not currently affected, as far as I know, and I get my kimchi and other assorted things from Korea.
The Chinese market. Mm-hmm.
But it's an Asian market with like everybody, right? So there's like Vietnam stuff in there and
Japan
stuff.
Yeah, we have one of those too, and it is great for the things that you know of that you want.
Yeah.
But as you're walking along looking at those aisles, there's a lot of weird stuff that it's like,
oh yeah,
I don't think I would put that in my mouth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's got too many legs and.
Oh yeah. Don't get me started on the whole seafood section. You look at you go by all those tanks, and it's like, I don't even think that is an animal. I don't even know if that's a creature from this earth.
It's like the stuff those girls eat on camera, the Babcockies or whatever they're called. What are they called? The cuckoos. What are the ladies that eat all the big giant seafood and just make noise on microphones?
Oh, mukbang.
Mukbang. I couldn't think of the word.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I know. I was thinking. I don't think you're dangerously close to a thing that means something else.
That also happens on camera, but we won't get into it.
That's right, exactly.
Yeah, so the ones that eat the big squids and everything, and then you look at I look at those things they eat, and I think, where are those living? Where are those coming out of the ocean?
Right.
Not here. I've never seen that in my life. Like 500-pound lobster-looking ass things with like green scales on them, and 15 tentacles sticking out. Like it's like a bad Japanese anime. It's real bad. Anyway, good luck. All the what are they called again? Bangkoks? What are they? Mukbangs. Mukbangs.
Mukbang.
All right. Well, all I know is I got some fun stuff for you today, and you've got a story, so we're going to get right to it.
Yeah.
Phone calls. I don't get to these as often as I should, so today I'm going to play a couple of them. And you know how the other day I was talking about that great new Indian place with the guy with the zipper down? I told you about that?
Yeah. Yes.
Well, we got a call from Ann Arbor, our good buddy Rishi B over there, and he has a recommendation, so we're going to play it. Here it is.
Hi, this is Rishi B. Hey, Scott and Brian. You were talking about a Indian restaurant that you found in Utah. I thought you might enjoy this story about a Indian restaurant that just opened up within the past few years in Ann Arbor, Michigan. It's called Cardamom. The guy who started this restaurant, he actually worked at a Indian restaurant that's been around for a while in Ann Arbor called Shalimar. And while he was there, he was kind of the head chef there, and he was noticing that he was being directed to change the entrees and everything to kind of westernized palate. So getting rid of some of the more Indian spices and such. And so he suggested that they return back to some of the Indian basics like cardamom, turmeric, etc. And they said nahi, which is no in Hindi. And so then he was like, well, screw you guys, which is English. And he said, screw you guys, and then he opened up Cardamom in Ann Arbor, and within just a couple years, it's only been open now for 4 or 5 years, but it's already done blockbusters and already expanded beyond what the original building was. So if you ever find yourselves in Ann Arbor, Michigan, Cardamom's the place to be. All right, thank you. Bye.
All right, nice recommendation there. It's cardamoms. That's the spice, you know.
Yes,
It's like
cardamom.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's the other kind they like a lot over there? He said it in his call too. It's you got cardamom, you got your
what is the other Indian spice? I mean, curry, obviously you mentioned, but
dirt spice,
turmeric
spice, and then posh spice, and then all the Spice Girls are there.
That's right. Yes.
We also got another. We got a question which seems like it has an obvious answer, but it gives us a good excuse to talk about it. So here's this.
Hey guys, this is Scoozer8 from California. Just wanted to know if there's any news on whether or not we're doing TMS Vegas this year.
All right.
Have a good one.
The answer is yes. We are doing TMS Vegas.
When did he call that? Was that before we started talking about TMS Vegas a lot on the show?
It was actually a little bit after. So we're going to assume that he was behind.
He might be a few episodes behind.
Yeah,
sure.
maybe he's trying to catch every episode. Even though I've always said, by the way, I mean, as much as I admire people who have heard every TMS since the beginning, and there are people like that. You don't have to. You can just
exactly.
come and go. It's a morning show. That's what you do. Like my whole idea in 2011 was like, if you're in the car and you turn on the radio, there's your morning show. It's not like you're like, I've got to hunt down the previous year's versions of this morning show. But I understand why you'd want to, and I'm glad you do, and that's why the archives are there. But I'm just saying, you can come and go, do as you want.
I guess the way to think about it is, we love it if you join us for every episode, but if it stresses you out to try and keep up with every episode, don't worry. You won't miss any. We won't have continuing lore that you'll only understand if you listen to the episode prior.
Occasional memes will happen, but you'll catch up on them if we use them a lot.
But if it's a decision of like, well, do I listen to a new episode of TMS or do I go listen to some NPR thing? No, stick with TMS. I mean, don't be silly.
Yeah, what are you
TMS.
talking about? Exactly. Yeah. What kind of world are you living on where you think otherwise on that?
The show that inspired the Reese Witherspoon and Jennifer Aniston smash hit, The Morning Show.
Oh, yeah, I know the one.
Yes, she turns 51 today, Jennifer Aniston.
Jennifer Aniston, 51. Wow. Mm-hmm. Looking good for 51.
She does. So, talking about Vegas really quick, I want to get this out. If you have not yet, if you're coming to Vegas, and you really should, March 26th through 28th, I'm still waiting to find out. We might have something going on the evening of the 27th. That's the Friday night.
That's the wedding night, right?
That is the wedding night. And I guess the wedding is what's going on, but there might be the opportunity for people to come check out the same-sex married wedding. The James and Savette wedding. They're figuring out if that's a possibility, and information will be coming soon on that.
Okay.
But Saturday night is the big Mario Kart competition at HyperX Sports at the Luxor Sports Arena.
Oh yeah, baby.
And if you have not registered yet, big thanks to Tanner, who set up the Tiny CC. So you go to tiny.cc/frogpantscart, and it'll take you right to where you need to register. $10. Play a ton of Mario Kart against.
Is cart
other
spelled with a
frog
K,
painters.
with a K or a C on cart?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Scott,
Uh-oh.
because you can spell it either way. He set up both. He set up both addresses, so you can spell it Frog Pants Cart with a C or Frog Pants Cart with a K, and it'll go to the right place.
My
So,
microphone is being so stupid. Sorry, I apologize.
so tiny.cc/frogpantscart. Spell it with a key or a C.
A key.
How about
and
a K or
yeah.
a C?
Yeah. KFC. Got it. All right.
KFC.
Uh-huh.
And there you go.
All right. Well, there you go. That's how it should be. K is the correct spelling. Everybody.
There you go. It is right. K is the correct spelling.
Brian, tell me about your dinner last night. How'd it go?
Well, we went out to dinner with Tina's family. Her cousins were passing through. They flew out early this morning to go down to Mexico, which sounds like an awesome place to go right now. With they're going to the beaches and do some fishing. He's got a boat down there. So Tina's cousins came from. They live up in Wyoming, and they came through. And so we, when they do this, we always go out to dinner with them, and then Tina's parents. They prefer Olive Garden and Outback. Their two favorite restaurants for stuff like
Those
this.
people are American as hell, man.
They are as American. When you're here, you're family, or when you're there, you're just right.
Yeah.
No rules.
Yeah.
So we decided, because we've been eating nothing but leftover pasta for the last 3 days, to do Outback. And
I like the
I love
Outback.
going out to dinner with Tina's parents, but it's funny that it's almost like they're at a restaurant for the very first time. So
Okay.
first off, everybody gets there kind of late because the road from the highway down from Wyoming was all snowy, and so they had to kind of go a little slower. Tina's cousins, so we ended up getting to the restaurant at like 7:30, meeting for dinner.
Okay.
I like to be done with my night by 7:30, and maybe like just lounging on the couch like a
Sure.
schlub for
Sure.
the rest of the night.
Sure, I understand.
So we sit down, and we're all looking at the menu and kind of figuring out what we want. Guy comes around, what can I get you to drink? We get drinks ordered. Then he comes around, okay, you guys ready to order? And Tina's mom's like, oh, I haven't even looked at the menu.
I hate that so bad.
Like, okay, well, here's a menu. Come back in a couple minutes. So we send the waiter off. He comes back. She's had some time to look at the menu. She's figured out what she wanted. She, desperately searching for the specials menu because she heard there was some lobster special thing going on with Outback, and
Yeah.
they only gave us one, so we had to kind of pass it around. She sees what she wants. So he says, okay, I'll start with you, ma'am. So she holds up the menu and says, I want this one right here. I'm like, okay, what is that? Okay, that's the sirloin and lobster combo. Okay, great. We're by the way, we're being visited again by our favorite ASCII artist.
Oh yeah, dong awareness with another name. That's fantastic.
Yes, I'm aware of that one already. You showed us that one yesterday. Dong awareness.
I'm fully aware of dong awareness in this
Exactly.
thing. Anyway.
So he says, okay, great. Would you like salad with that? Oh, yes. Okay. Would you like Caesar or house? Yes.
These are all my pet peeves in one night.
You also get two sides with that. What would you like? Oh, where are your sides? You've been to Outback a million times. You could probably tell him the sides.
This is killing me. This is killing me. Slowly, I'm dying, Brian, inside.
and then Tina's cousin sitting next to me, and I'm questioning. I didn't want to say anything at the time. I'm questioning his pronunciation of a certain word. So we were talking about how he's given up soda, and he says, "Yeah, I do the occasional diet soda, but I do still have a Monster every morning because I have to have a Monster, and I have coffee every once in a while." And Tina says, "Oh, you know what I like is doing water, but then squeezing that Mio stuff in there. It's like a concentrated flavoring, and you squeeze some of that in your bottled water, and it makes it taste really good. But it can be sugar-free diet."
Oh yeah, they have. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that stuff's actually all right.
It's
It's not bad. Yeah.
And he says, "Oh, I tried that, but I'm not a big fan of the aspartame, so I don't really want to drink any of that."
You say aspartame?
Aspartame. And I kind of waited to see if he said, "I'm just kidding. I know it's pronounced aspartame."
Aspartame.
Aspartame.
I'm aspartame.
And I didn't want to say anything. If it was my cousin, I would have said something.
Yeah, because you have the familiarity and stuff, sure.
Yeah, but aspartame, okay. You know what? I kind of like that. I'm gonna start calling it aspartame. Aspartame.
Yeah.
This is aspartame.
Yeah. I am aspartame. No, I am aspartame.
Because you look at the word and it's like, yeah, I guess if you don't pronounce it, if you don't jumble the as together,
yeah,
and just do and then you get Sparta in the middle and me at the end, aspartame.
Yeah, aspartame. That is a really odd way to say that. I've never heard it. I'm going to assume that he's dead wrong.
Well, we know he's wrong, but was he? Sometimes people say stuff silly on purpose.
I guess so.
They just get used to saying it that way. Like,
I guess so. Did you think that's maybe what he was doing? Did you think he was just goofing around?
I think that he does joke around. He's a goofy guy. He has a good sense of humor,
Yeah.
and so I think he might have been doing it on purpose.
Like when you'd say as a
But
kid.
I don't know, and I didn't want to say anything because I don't want to make him feel. I think that's pronounced aspartame.
It's like when you're a
But
kid,
I was-
you'd say, "Give me the hors d'oeuvres." It's like that,
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And you do that your whole life, and you get used to, it's hors d'oeuvres, but you get used to calling, saying hors d'oeuvres, and then all of a sudden you're at a party with a bunch of people who don't know you say that all the time like that.
Yeah.
And you say, "Oh, did anyone bring any hors d'oeuvres?" And your aunt kind of looks at you like, I wonder if he really knows that it's pronounced hors d'oeuvres.
You have good social intelligence. You know when you should laugh and point and when you should not, and I'm impressed with that because I would have been laughing. I would have died.
I really kept it under control. But of course, like one of the first things as soon as Tina and I are back in the car alone, aspartame?
Oh, I love it. I love that it was like still hanging on the tip of your mind when you got in the car.
It felt like a Curb Your Enthusiasm thing, right? Did he just call that aspartame?
Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, sorry, I don't mean to change lanes,
Yeah.
but you reminded me
Yeah.
of something. I guess. So I don't totally understand what's going on, but I guess Trump tweeted a video of Curb Your Enthusiasm's Larry David in a car getting chased down by a biker. And I don't remember this. I guess there's a scene in one of the episodes. I just don't remember this ever happening.
Yeah.
And his tweet was "Tough guys for Trump" or something. Anyway, and this guy's chasing down Larry David. Does anyone know what that was about? Try to explain that to me.
Does he really think that Larry David is Bernie Sanders?
I think maybe that. Okay, now see, no one said this until you just said it. Maybe that's
Larry
it.
David's been playing Bernie Sanders on SNL for, not as long obviously as Alec Baldwin's been doing Trump, but
you're
certainly
right.
like anytime they have Bernie Sanders now, they've got Rachel Dratch coming on now as Amy Klobuchar. They've got Jason Sudeikis coming back to SNL to do Joe Biden.
Yeah, I like when they have Bill Hader be Jim Jordan from Ohio or whatever it is.
Yes,
he's really
Yes.
funny,
Right.
really funny as that. But anyway, so okay, duh. I feel like an idiot. Of course, that's it. That's what he's talking about. I was trying to make sense of it. I was like, I don't get it.
No. It's you know what though? No, there was one of the recent episodes of Curb Your Enthusiasm. Larry David figured out that if he wore a MAGA hat, then people wouldn't sit next to him in restaurants and take up his seat really close to him or bother him or leave him annoy him.
Yeah.
So he keeps a MAGA hat handy so that he can just kind of put it on and scare people away basically.
So
that's right. Yes. Oh, and there's a biker. Right. There's like a biker that he cuts off.
Yeah.
And the biker comes up and is like gonna punch him out and yell at him. And then he puts the MAGA hat on. And the biker says, "Oh, okay, no worries, dude. Sorry, man. Go on about your day."
Oh, okay. Well, then he doesn't understand the joke then.
He doesn't. No, not at all.
He thinks that that's good.
Right. he thinks that Larry David is wearing it because he supports him as opposed to using it as a deterrent, as a
So that makes me think that he's really dumb then. I thought he was dumb, but I think he might be really dumb.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
No, he He's like a goldfish. He only understands the last few seconds of what he's just seen.
I think you're giving goldfish short shrift.
Goldfish are like, unsubscribe, sir.
Yeah, the goldfish are no more TMS for goldfish. I can tell you that.
That's right. We probably lost a few koi too. Dang it.
That's fine. All right. Also, I don't know. I probably shouldn't share this, but I got an email yesterday from one of our listeners who is full Kool-Aid on the on everything.
Sure.
The whole, like, if you can think of any of the things that are touch points, like you want to, like the word cuck or the word triggered or woke culture or all these little like hot tip words that everybody says to fire each other up. This email is just like the embodiment of all of that, and this guy just raging against all of it and telling me that you and I are ever closer to the precipice of destruction because we're this weird thing that he likes to describe. Anyway, that was a fun email. I just sent him a picture of it was a GIF, an animated GIF. You know I like to use those.
Oh yes.
It's an animated GIF of the eyeball on the dollar bill. So it's like the you know, like the
right, the Illuminati,
there
the
you go.
X-Files sound.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I sent this GIF of that thing just kind of vibrating and moving like this because I didn't know what else to send him because he was this close to telling me the Earth was flat and that we never landed on the moon, and you know, like he was going to go full, you know, what. The Jews were taken to space and had nothing. You know, nobody was killed in World War II. Like I felt like that guy was going to go down a real path.
The moon landing was fabricated in a warehouse in Hollywood and all that.
He was heading down that road, and I didn't want to be there for it. So
there's a gift that is my go-to. Now I'm like, compared to you use the whole piano and you play these beautiful pieces with your gifts. I'm like the chopsticks of gifts. The do 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 do. But
it's a fun way to look
I have
at
a
it.
gift that is basically my go-to, and it would apply in this one. And it's the Jennifer Lawrence during some kind of interview where somebody must be shouting something at him or at her. And she looks over at them and goes, mouths the words, okay.
Oh, I
and
love that
the
one.
one.
It's a good one.
And just like, you know, blows, basically like the blow off, like the, oh, bless your heart kind of thing.
Yeah. No, that's
and
a good one.
That would be perfect in that situation.
That
That
absolutely
was
would
my
happen.
favorite.
And I should have done that, but I didn't do it.
Trisha Tevno in the formerly daily chat room visitor, but sadly has to just listen because of work, listen to the show later and can't join the chat.
Right.
She knows my favorite GIF used to be the two women at a rave, and one of them is, you know, doing this kind of weird little thing with her hands, you know, contemplating this and da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, then they pan over to the girl next door and she's going, That used to be my favorite GIF. Now it's the Jennifer Lawrence going, okay.
I also like that one. Turns out you and I have similar taste in GIFs.
Wow, Captain Kipper, that is not the one that I mean, but I like that one a lot. That one might.
Let's see here. I'm looking. I don't know what this is. Don't know what to expect. Oh yeah, look at this. Oh geez, that's not the one at all. Here, chat. Can you see that on Brian's?
Yeah.
Let me. I'm gonna move this over on top of your video. There you go. That's pretty good. Well, when did she do that? When did that happen?
I don't know. That's
You think it's just a moment?
More recent. It's almost like a like probably doing Graham Norton show. It looks like that background, so that's probably it.
Oh yeah. Plus it's Britain. They can do that stuff. It's fine.
They can do that. Yep.
Yeah.
Actually, she should have done the two fingers is the correct one.
Yeah, it's just the rant like that, right?
Yep, exactly.
And then remember when we were young, it was fun to go to do this thing, even though that feels like just like the dumbest old thing that no one does anymore. But when we were kids, we thought it was cool to go like this. I still don't even know what it means. What does it mean? What is this? What does this mean?
It's Italian, isn't it? It's like
oh, is it?
That? Yeah.
When you do it, you're here. Your family.
Yeah. By the way, I posted my favorite gift, the one of Jennifer Lawrence.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that one's a good one. She's a treasure. What is she? You know what? Was she in any movies this year? Because I feel like we heard nothing from Jennifer Lawrence in 2019.
She seems to maybe be. I don't know about taking a break, but moving, like doing other things temporarily, and
because because she did that like Mother movie that was so psycho, and then just nothing after that.
Oh, right. I forgot about Mother. That was really whacked out.
Yeah, I never even saw it, and I know it was weird. I should probably see it. Should I see it?
Last thing she did, we forgot she was in X-Men Dark Phoenix last year.
Oh.
Yeah.
That takes a lot of work. You got to focus your entire year on that one role of Dark Phoenix.
Yeah.
So
she did the Red Sparrow thing in 2018.
Yeah, that didn't go that great. It was all right.
Didn't go as well. Passengers, where she forgave Chris Pratt for basically killing her.
That thing.
condemning her to a life of boredom on a spaceship with Chris Pratt.
That thing bummed me out.
But she has an untitled Lila Neuerbarger project coming out this year, as well as a...
That's not a real name, is it? There's no way that person's
Lila Neugebauer.
All right, Neugebauer, sure.
And then something coming out called Mob Girl, which is in pre-production, where she plays Arlene Brickman. Hi, I'm Arlene Brickman.
What? If she doesn't sound like that, then no sale. Don't care.
Right. Right, exactly.
Well, all right.
Arlene Brickman.
This has all been well and good.
Yeah, there you go. So now we know what's going on with National Treasure Jennifer Lawrence.
I'm glad we do.
Still adore her. You know what? She could just do nothing but David O. Russell films with Bradley Cooper for the rest of her life, and I'd be completely fine with that.
I'd be okay
do
too.
a new one every couple of years, and I'll be set.
Yeah. Those two just need to do a movie every once in a while together. Keep it fresh. Keep it real.
Mm-hmm.
Now this.
Say, gang, here's some razzle-dazzle news to flash to Mom.
Let's get the news out there, brought to you by...
Do you skip reading the quests while leveling in World of Warcraft, or did you? We've got you covered. Check out Tales of Azeroth as we cover quest by quest and explain the lore that so many people missed out on. Me included.
Uh-huh.
Go get 18 tales of boars. Okay, fine. I'll go get 18 boar tales. I don't know why I'm doing it. I don't care. I'm not going to read why I have to go get, go kill 35 centaurs. Fine, I'll go do that, but I don't care why I'm doing it.
Right.
Visit us at youtube.com/Tales of Azeroth. Go do it now. I'm going to do it. Tales of Azeroth.
That's a cool
YouTube.
idea to go and see what
great.
you've been missing and all that text you've been skipping.
I know if Ro was hearing this, and I don't know how much he listens to TMS, but if Ro was listening to this, he'd be like, Brian, you don't read the quest text? Because he's all about the lore.
Oh, he loves it. He slows down. I think he doesn't even have that option turned off where it, how it slowly writes it and you hear like a little scribble sound. I think he does that still. Sorry,
Is there a mod that will read quest text to you with a violin background like a Ken Burns documentary?
I don't know.
The Dear Martha letters?
I don't know, but now you're...
Dearest Martha. Valoran Mega Bladder has told us that we need to go defend the eastern region. And so, to prepare, we need 43 dragon scales to make our armor.
Valoran Mega Bladder. Amazing. That's amazing. Well done. All right. Well... Shall we?
Randy, please add a character called Valoran Mega Bladder.
Oh yeah. I'm sure he has all the pull when it comes to adding new characters. I'm sure he has all to say. Yeah.
I'm sure he does. He likes. Oh sure, Brian. Did I ever tell you about the time that I could add characters to World of Warcraft willy-nilly for anybody who just asked me? Fine.
True story. He'd say.
True story.
Hey, check this out. Gritty, Gritty's that weird Philadelphia Flyers mascot. That's
yes. That looks like he's basically what people see at a Grateful Dead concert.
Yeah.
After
a little bit
they've dropped acid, and
he reminds me of something a fast food place would have. You know what I mean? Like not a normal sports mascot. He just looks like somebody's trying to sell you wacky burgers and fries or something.
Or one of the Sesame Street characters that producers said, no, this will scare children. We can't do this guy.
Yeah, it's like, you know what, Mr. Henson, just keep him for your weird Muppet show. You can have him on there. This looks like a Muppet Show Muppet for sure.
Right.
Well, anyway, as the story goes, he's been vindicated. Philadelphia Flyers mascot cleared of punching a child. He was there was an investigation because they said he punched a child in the face. Right. Philadelphia Flyers' beloved mercurial mascot has been cleared of all allegations that he physically assaulted a 13-year-old boy. Popular orange-haired creature had been under investigation following a season ticket holder's claim that he took a running start and then punched my son as hard as he could.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, dude. Like, that sounds hardcore.
Wow. See, the Gritty does it and he gets off, but the Pope does it and everybody goes apeshit.
Yeah, that's right. Jeez. The Pope. Anyway, this was during a meet and greet photo shoot in November at the Wells Fargo Center. But in the news release Monday, police announced the investigation was over. Quote, that investigation, which has been completed and is no longer active, determined that the actions of the individual portraying the Flyers mascot did not constitute physical assault as alleged, said the police. Chris Greenwell, the boy's father, wrote in a Facebook post in December that his son Brandon was punched and injured by Gritty at an event for a season ticket holders, and the organization tried to bribe me not to speak about it. In an interview with the Philadelphia Inquirer, Greenwell said that after the photo was taken, his son patted Gritty on the head and then walked away, only to launch a sensational attack on the teenager from a running start.
Oh, jeez.
My guess is it's not that dad's just a little Sue happy and that was fine.
I think so. Do you think that they bribed him to not to speak about it, or they say, "Oh my God, sorry that your son lunged forward just as Gritty was about to pat him on the head. Would you like? Here's a Philadelphia Flyers T-shirt and tickets to the next game or something like that."
Probably
You're
that.
bribing me. Just keep silent.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think that's probably what happened. Yeah. That's always how this stuff goes. It's not like they're going, "Mr. Come here in the dark corner of the freaking stadium.
Right, exactly.
Let's work out a deal. We don't want any heat on this, and we need to keep things quiet. How much it'll take to shut you up?" They're not gonna do that.
Did we? Certainly, somebody had to have caught that on a.
Oh, guaranteed. Guaranteed, right? Or even just stadium cameras or something, because he's the mascot. Yeah. He's always got the camera on him. Yeah.
Right. Somebody's always going to be filming when he's walking around. And
did you know our guy, our jazz bear, who had been that bear for 25 years, got fired for some sex thing? Hold on.
Oh, no.
Jazz bear sex. Let's look this up. Oh, that may be a bad search. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Let's see. It's a jazz bear. Nope. I can't find it. Someone out there will know this, but he got fired after 25 freaking years. Got fired, and I can't remember what the deal was. He had an affair with somebody he wasn't supposed to, or there was like some kind of something weird went down.
He's just naked in that bear costume.
It just brings me back to the point that the point is don't trust mascots. They're untrustworthy.
Yeah, there was a Chuck Palahniuk short story or something, or maybe it was part of the book Survivor, which is one of my favorites. I think the first Chuck Palahniuk book I started reading after I watched Fight Club. And he talks about how some amusement parks won't allow men to be mascots, run around in the big costumes, because it's a lot easier to not get sued if somebody's child inadvertently gets grabbed in the wrong place and then they just say, "Oh no, it's a woman in there."
Oh,
but if it's a man in there, yeah, because if it's a man in there, it's like way creepier. But it's like, oh no, women just like say, "Well, it was accidental. I was grabbing around to take a picture with them." And
interesting.
Yes.
I mean, that particular bit of gender bias pays off in the end, right?
It does.
Yeah.
It totally does. And I kind of, I hate to say it kind of makes sense. Speaking as a man, I can say, yeah, I mean, if that were to happen,
it's just because we're just conditioned that way, right? Like we just are conditioned to think that there are no women in a bush right now fiddling with their diddling while they're looking in some window. There's no women doing that.
Exactly.
I mean, there probably are, but we have this thing in our head that would never happen. Mm-hmm. But and statistically, you are more likely to find a dude in that bush, right?
You kind of are, exactly.
So I don't know. Dudes are gross.
We're horrible.
Dudes are gross. Dudes are gross.
Dudes are gross.
Yeah.
Dudes are gross.
Also, don't look up bear sex on the internet.
Oh no, don't.
I was just trying to find
or jazz.
I tried to find to find Utah Jazz bear sex to find find the scandal. Well, I thought I'd just find the scandal.
And you're surprised that you're
a little. Because I thought, well, it'll be the first results will be this scandal, but no, they weren't. It was.
I imagine if you just did Utah Jazz Bear, then clicked on news, you'd find the thing that happened, as opposed to.
Well, let's take a look. Utah Jazz.
Now you're on the list for looking for large bearded men at Utah Jazz games.
You know what? Brian is absolutely correct. Let's take a look here. Hold on a second.
Would you like to download the Grindr app?
While you're here, try this. Okay, so
Men
here it
in
is.
your community are finding each other with the Grindr app.
I
Download
found
it today.
It says Utah Jazz fire longtime employee who played the team's Jazz Bear mascot. He will be donning the furry costume and entertaining Jazz fans no more. John Absey has played the Jazz Bear since the mascot's inception in 1994, but he was fired this week and is no longer with the organization. The Jazz Bear will continue to be one of the most iconic mascots in the NBA, says Jazz spokesman Frank Zhang. Out of respect for the character, which is separate from the employee ever associated with it, we will never discuss his identity. We do not discuss individuals' personal matters. Oh, so they don't really say?
But they don't say why.
I guess it was just a rumor then. There was some...
A rift with the staff is what, according to Eric Woodyard of the Deseret News, a source said Absey was relieved of his role after a, quote, rift with the staff.
A rift with the staff.
Rift with the staff.
Okay. So he was playing Diablo 4, and he ran a rift with the staff.
I'm glad you went that direction with the staff.
Well, after my bear sex search, you'd wonder what I was looking at.
Yes, right. You know what, though? That's fine, because really, what does a bear have to do with jazz?
I mean, it's always been a weird... But then what does Utah have to do with jazz? Like, we've always had this problem. This is always been
because they
an
moved
issue.
from New Orleans, right? That was the deal?
Right, yeah. and that's cool in its own right, because we got this cool, jazz-based whatever, but it's always been a little discordant, and so the bear, I think, came out of... Hey, well, there's some bears up in the Rocky Mountains.
We have bears in the mountains, yeah. All right, well, what would be you're coming up with a replacement for the Utah Jazz mascot?
Yeah.
What are you going to do, a guy in a Bleeding Gums Murphy?
See, this is where I was afraid you were going to go. I don't think they can get away with, some famous jazz musician outfit.
Right, what about a giant piano? Like, I'm a piano.
The top part opens up. Yeah, the thing opens and shuts all the time.
Yes, right.
Yeah, big eyeballs. Yeah. See, it's not bad. See, but if they were to replace it, I would prefer they go like the Philadelphia way and just give us something weird, like just has nothing to do with anything.
Sure.
Because what is a flyer? Like nobody knows what flyers are.
Right, that's true. Yeah.
So just make a weird googly looking thing.
It's something that's left on your car at the stadium parking lot after you watch a game.
Greg for Walkman says a giant Mitt Romney head. You know what? That's great for two reasons, Greg. He's both in the news and huge here. And by the way, everyone here loves him for what he did. It's weird.
Sure.
Utah's all into it. But he is also your former governor of Massachusetts, Governor Romney. I don't know if you knew that. Did you know he was your governor at one point?
I bet he does. I bet he's heard of him.
I would assume so.
Yeah.
Anyway, so let's move to this story. A box of puppies were found in a man's lawn. Found out they were bear cubs, not puppies. So sometimes you have a box that says, "Come take a free puppy." You see these at Walmart or whatever.
Yeah, right.
This guy had a box of these puppies in his lawn, and people came by, and somebody figured out that they were bears. They're baby bears.
Well, because bears can't spell. So on the side of the box was a poorly written word, puppies.
Yep. Only one P had a Y instead of a IES.
Yes.
Yeah, it was
just
bad.
like the cows that can't spell chicken. Eat more chicken.
Oh, I love those cows. I feel like those guys owe the Chick-fil-A people. They owe some money to Gary Larson, because I feel like those cow jokes are ripped right out of the Far Side sometimes.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
They
Like
do.
sentient cows.
Maybe they should start giving their money to Gary Larson and not to companies that support anti-gay rights.
I think they stopped doing that, right? Didn't they pull out?
Yeah, I think they did. Yeah.
And now the far right calls them cucks and wieners and
Of course,
cowards.
snowflakes.
Yeah.
Sure.
And the far left are like, sweet, we can get chicken again.
I don't have to just go to Popeyes.
I kind of want to go to Popeyes. We shouldn't talk about Popeyes. All right. That sounds really
You
good.
saw that. I know I'm going off on another
You're
tangent.
fine.
You saw that
Go for
Family
it.
Feud clip of it's one of the more recent Family Feuds.
Oh,
and Steve Harvey says,
Yeah.
"Name Popeye's favorite food," and she goes, "Chicken." And then she does this dance like she's just come
Yeah.
up with the best answer possible.
Yep. She goes, chicken. And then starts doing it. And her family's like, what are you doing? And the other guy just sort of like spinach into the microphone.
Exactly. Yes.
That was really funny. That woman was so stoked. And I think it was the
She was
determining
so-
thing, right? Like they were on the
I
verge
don't know.
of
I only
winning.
saw that clip. I had no idea how the rest of the game panned out.
I used to like watching the old ones. I wonder how I'd feel now.
There it is.
I used to like
Cap
it.
Kipper found the clip.
Oh, really? Let's play it. This can't be copyrighted, right?
Can't be.
Okay, I'm going to play it here. Let's see what we got. Oh, shit. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Oh,
Started a few weeks ago, and it already delivered one of the all-time greatest answers.
why is this dude? I don't want to listen to ET Canada. Is that even a thing? All right, here it is for real. All right, so they go up there. All right, and they,
All right.
here we
Real
go.
simple. There's one question. Only one answer. Whoever gets it, you're playing for $10,000. That's it. Whoever guesses this wins the game. Here we go.
Okay, so what's
Name
the final thing?
Popeye's favorite food.
Chicken!
Look at her.
Oh my god!
Show me chicken!
Spinach, Jerry.
Oh, this poor woman. So that's Canadian. That's Canadian, by the way. I was thinking
Canadian Family Feud.
Yeah, that's not Steve Harvey.
So
that's some other dude.
when did Family Feud start saying 100 people surveyed, top one answer on the board?
Yeah, what rule is that?
Yeah, it's almost like it was set up.
Huh. Do you Canadians?
I mean, I believe that she honestly guessed chicken. I don't think that part was set up, but it was like set up as a question that people would initially get wrong.
Tiebreaker says Captain Kipper, but I don't know.
Oh, is that how they do a tiebreaker?
I've never seen a tiebreaker now that you mention it on that show.
Yeah.
But also, maybe the Canadians have their own deal going. I don't know what they do up there.
Maybe you've won poutine.
Well done. You've got a whole box of these coins with holes in it. Congratulations. How's
Hey,
it
what
going,
about a box
Abe?
of puppies?
Oh, yeah, a
Scott?
box of
We
puppies.
barely-
All right, so he called police to report the cute surprise. Someone left these on his lawn is what happened.
Gotcha.
Deputies look inside and realize the puppies were not dogs at all. They were bear cubs. It's not uncommon to find black bears in the country, says Camden County Sheriff Kevin Jones. He told this to CNN.
Sure.
Fake news, CNN. But to find bear cubs in the cardboard box on your property, wrapped up in sweatshirts to keep them warm, yep, that's pretty strange, he says, in an accent I'm making up. Oh, he's in North Carolina, so that's fine.
North Carolina, it's not too far off, yeah.
North Carolina
It
Sheriff's
tracks.
Office explained that they had responded to a man's call last month. It took them to the place. The man explained he was gone for just a short amount of time, and when he got back, the animals were there. Sheriff Jones and the person who dropped off the cubs probably stumbled across them, put them in a box, and simply left them at the man's house when they realized they couldn't keep them. So they probably thought they were dogs the whole time. Nobody ever thought these were bears. But how they got to, how did someone end up with bears in the first place? I don't know how that works.
Yeah, no kidding. That seems like you don't take a bundle of a litter of baby bears and live. I don't think.
No. Plus, don't you run the risk of like that mother will have your scent forever and she'll hunt you down and eat you and spit you out?
Is that how it works?
I think that's how it works.
Is that
because they get pissed, man?
Is that the plot of an Ashley Judd movie or something? Like,
wait, why Ashley Judd?
Just feels like it would be a movie from the '90s where Ashley Judd, is gets the scent of.
Oh right, yeah, like the scent of a bear or something like that.
Right, exactly, and the bear just tracks her down.
Yeah, Morgan Freeman and being there with her and stuff.
Exactly. Yes, scent of a Judd.
Scent of a Judd. Wesley had that on Star Trek Next Generation. Anyway, all right, check this out. Oh, it's time. Actually, we're going to skip these two stories.
Oh, okay.
Just having too much fun. All right, we're going to come back in a minute. When we do, Bill will be here. Going to talk about what he's making this week, inspire us to be more creative. Bill is his name.
Bill.
And then Justin Robert Young supposedly will be available to us from New Hampshire. We'll get to that in a minute. Before that, though, a song break. What do you have?
Yes, this Friday, February 14th, Valentine's Day, a brand new album is going to come out from the band Drama. It's called Dance Without Me. Jeez, just Dance Without Me. They are a duo from the Chicago area. And we got an early single to play, I guess as early as playing it on a Tuesday when the album comes out on Friday. The song is called Hold On. Here is the band Drama.
All right, we'll play it now, and there will be no drama. We'll be back in a minute. Stay tuned.
We Ewoks kept it safely hidden and never used it, lest the temptation of its great power would overwhelm us.
My name is He-Man, and I'm a friend.
This is the morning stream. Love the show, though. Glove the hobo, shove the glow, bro. Dove the blow, Joe.
You all right there, Brian? You got a little coffee?
I am,
cough.
just a little cough. I'm going to drink some coffee because coffee and coughs.
Coffee and coughs. Yep.
Since when did Ewoks sound like that?
There's an Ewoks cartoon in the 80s that I forgot existed. And it's bad. It's very, very bad.
And apparently they just talk like normal. I mean, basically they sound like Smurfs.
They basically sound like Smurfs, yeah. I think I'm gonna watch an episode of it tonight for the Frog Pants Adventure Club, so stick around for that.
What's the Frog Pants Adventure Club? I don't know about this.
So on and off at various times, depends on the day, but last night I did one for about an hour. Tonight I'll probably do about another hour. But anyway, I do this thing where I watch some old, out-of-date garbage, either cartoons or like weird live action serial, or I found some racist old 60s cartoons. We watched some PSAs. So like one was on how to date people and do it properly in the 50s, and other 50s one about
nice.
how to deal with women in the workplace, and just the most ridiculous, stupid old stuff ever. And I put it on an old 80s looking TV, and I have a little tiny TV set next to it where my face is, and we just hang out and talk. It's like it's not a podcast. It's just sort of a let's watch this thing. Yeah, it's been fun.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, and we watched the He-Man pilot on one of these. That was fun.
I mean, obviously there had to be a first episode of that for something, but didn't. How are things different in the He-Man pilot?
Okay, so very little.
No loincloth.
It's just it's full doodle.
Booty shorts. It's still golden booty shorts.
Full He-Man peen on display.
Yeah,
No, it's all very similar except for one aspect, and the aspect that was weird was that Skeletor was rolling around with just him, Evil Lyn, and Beastman. And that's it. No Spikor, no Two-Head,
really?
none of all those other things. They weren't in there at all. It was just like the trio of them causing havoc for He-Man. But he did call her a boob. Quiet your boob, he said.
Nice, good.
So that was great. Yeah, called Evil Lyn a boob. Anyway, his favorite of his insults, you're right. Quiet your boobs. So anyway,
always jumps back into that well. Way to go, Skeletor.
Yeah, but the one thing that is notable is that you see the animation loops that they end up using through the entire series. It's just none of that gets better. It's all bad, and therefore great. So it was fun.
Way to go, Filmation, or whoever that was.
Yeah, who was that? No, it was Filmation. You're
Filmation.
right. Yeah, you got it. You nailed it.
All right.
Bill Duran coming incoming.
Bill.
Yeah, Bill.
Friends with Jill.
Bill's friends with Jill. He's coming in, and he's coming in hot. Let's play this for him right here. Where is it? Right here.
Your bat cave's open there, Bill.
Hey, Bill. What's going on with you, Bill?
Good morning.
Good morning to you, sir. How are you?
Just enjoying my morning coffee. It's fantastic.
That's lovely. I am too, except it's a tea. It's a chicory tea, and it's in my... it's a frap mug from Nerdtacular 2017.
Nice.
I have one of those as well. It's a good mug.
It's a pretty good mug.
Messy mug there, Scott. Did you clean that between tea enjoyments?
Oh, it is all dirty. What is that about?
Look at that. I know.
Are those stains? Jeez. What is that? Oh, I guess my wife just spilled when she made it.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to complain because she's making me nice things for no.
Right, she's making you tea. So I guess
I'm going to go upstairs. I'm going to demand she clean this and make me.
I want a clean glass.
That's going to go well. Anyway, Bill's here, as he is often on Tuesdays, to talk about the world of making things. Creative business, folks. It's a thing. And Bill's been hard at work on new books and projects and other stuff. Bill, what do you got this week?
Yes. So most of my time right now is the last push to get my book done. So I haven't been working on a new prop project.
Yeah.
However, been in the shop and I've been doing a little rearranging and organizing in the shop and building some new shop furniture.
Ooh.
So this is it's like furniture except you don't care what it looks like. And it's
like
mostly,
IKEA.
Yeah, mostly utilitarian. So here's the thing about shop furniture. I have a lot of different workbenches and things that hold tools and stuff that I made myself that are custom made for that tool, that space, whatever. It's usually slapdash together with whatever materials I have on hand. I usually intend to upgrade or replace it later, but I always end up using it as is for a decade or more.
Oh, wow.
Build a thing and you're like, I'll just build this quickly today and use it for a week, and then I'll make it better, next week, and then you just use it forever.
Sure.
So I made some of that this week.
Nice. I'm a big fan of that, by the way. I like to use a thing until it's freaking dead, man. I don't want to replace
exactly.
it. It's good.
And the same way with cars. Drive them until they don't work anymore.
Yeah, drive them till they don't drive. That's what they're for.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's weird though. Like every week, when the car runs out of gas, I just abandon it on the highway and go get another one.
Wow.
Gets very expensive.
Anyway,
Sure.
I built some workbenches. So I have this sort of workstation area with a lot of my powered sanding tools and a little bandsaw and my scroll saw. And when we moved into the shop almost 2 years ago, I just sort of threw everything together so I could use it right away.
Yeah.
And I haven't changed it since, and it just is not ideal.
Mm.
So there's two tables those tools all sit on, so I upgraded those tables. My first thought was, I'll build a really cool custom-made workstation for all of these tools. I'll go out and buy a bunch of... And I was like, hold on. I have two tables. I have a bunch of just scrap lumber. I bet I could just get these tables to do what I need them to do for not a lot of money. And that's exactly what I did.
Nice.
So here are some of the upgrades I made. One of the main ones was that the tables were too low. So all of the tools, when I used them, I would have to bend over. Not a big deal if you're sanding one thing, but if you're sanding 40 things and you're hunched over for 3 hours at a time, then it's a problem.
Nobody wants to see Bill bend over, is what we're saying.
No one at all. No, actually no. There is a Twitch subscriber only sub we do that's only me bending over. But you gotta pay for that.
Sure.
It's just one. It's limited to one purchase.
Yeah, that's right. Anyway, so I upgraded the height. I raised I got some 4x4s and I extended the legs on my tables to raise them up a good 6 inches. That made a huge difference already.
Yeah.
And then also I wanted to make better use of the space. So I pulled the tables a little bit away from the wall and I turned them 90 degrees so the long way is heading away from the wall. It's better in visual, but basically the idea is that with the tables jammed against the wall, I was always facing the wall when I was working. The lights are on the wall, so they're facing me and not the work I'm working on.
Yeah.
But also, Brick can only film from behind me. Speaking of bending over footage. Right?
Yeah.
So by pulling the table away from the wall, she can film from behind the tool towards me.
That's almost that's good for all sorts of film and stuff. Like if you're who is it? I guess Kim was telling me this. She says we would totally do a YouTube cooking show if I had an island cooking thing.
Exactly.
Because you can zoom all around it and put stuff above it and go all you're not limited to that wall locking you out.
Right, that's a perfect analogy. That's what we were trying to accomplish. And also you can put lights above it and aim them at the thing you're working on. But yeah, that kitchen island thing, that's really what we were going for.
Sure.
Another big one is dust collection. So I have a big old dust collector. I make a lot of dust, but I never properly permanently attached it to all my tools. I just drag the hose to whatever tool I'm using that day. So I haven't done it
like a big bendable pipe kind of thing.
Yeah,
like it's in a
exactly.
Shop vac. Yeah.
Right.
Cool.
So I haven't done it yet, but I'm gonna install permanent dust collection for all of those tools. So all I have to do is kick it on and like maybe have a couple blast gates to direct the airflow. But that's more of just like if I build it properly, I'll use it more, and I should use it more, sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good upgrade.
I like the term blast gates, by the way. That's cool. Release the blast gates, Captain. It's like that.
Open the blast gate.
Yeah.
Open blast gate B.
That's really cool. Anyway, I don't even know what they are, but they sound neat. So
No, I think they need better letters like Sigma. Open blast gate Sigma.
Oh, I like that. Blast gate Sigma. Code
Alpha.
Alpha 34B.
There we go.
B isn't boy. Oh no, the ship's exploded. We took too much time. And
B is
hesitated.
Bravo. Oh, it's
bravo.
too late.
It's too late, everybody. Too late.
All right.
Anyway.
And then, of course, the other thing I mentioned was upgrading the light, both to make it easier for me to see the thing that I'm working on, which is very important for safety and also to make it look the way I want it to look, but also so that the camera can see it too. And that's something we struggle with all the time. So I'm going to be repurposing some lights from my basement and really, really lighting the standing area.
How do you feel about? I mean, your lighting always looks really good. Do you have you ever done like a tutorial on how you're lighting things or done?
No,
stuff?
it's not. Well, if it looks good, it's by accident. It's not on purpose.
I mean, I've always felt like, and I think photographers with that gene in them always just tend to know what looks good and what light. Like you just have a natural feel for it. It's something I always struggle with. It's just a bummer for me, and I know there are plenty of tutorials online, but I just thought, hey, if Bill has one, I'd watch Bill's.
The main workbench where we work has two lights that are like for video, so I can adjust the color intensity and the brightness and the color temperature.
Yeah,
right.
So those are the two ones that are attached to my workbench, which is cool because I can dial in the color temperature. Then we have two other LED panels that face me that I can do the same thing. So at the very least, those four lights are all similar color temperatures, and it's at least similar to the fluorescent lights in our shop. So it's all kind of close.
Sure.
But I have some oddball light bulbs just kicking around the shop that are really warm or like very different than everything else. The one above there's a ring light above my old workbench, and that one, when you turn it on in the cool lighting of our shop, it looks like you're lighting a torch. It's so yellow. It's really weird.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
But
I notice those things and I avoid them if I can.
Sure.
But no, we haven't put a ton of effort into the lighting in our shop yet.
Well, it all looks really good, so I can't imagine.
Fix it in post.
Yeah, fix it in post. Plus, I guess, and if you ever did up your lighting game, I mean, that would even look better. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's all
up your lighting game.
Up yours, Brian. Well, all right. That sounds awesome. I'm glad. I always like to hear, because I'm kind of in the middle of a bit of this myself. In fact, it's kind of messed up my mixer because I moved it around too much. I think I broke something.
You'll never find a podcaster that's really happy with the way they're set up and lit. Like you always want to be changing.
Always. There's always something.
Thing. I was going to say same thing in our shop, workshops. No one's like, I am perfectly happy with the arrangement and layout of my tools.
That's awesome. All right. Well, as always, good stuff. Very excited about the book. I know you're getting toward the tail end there.
Oh yeah.
How are we this week for a little bonus link from you?
Good. I'm gonna have a video out on YouTube sometime this week with an update on that. I finished an example helmet. One of the 4 I'm going to try and build for the book. So one of those is all done, and I'll show that off later this week. So big progress getting that done.
Nice.
And I have 3 more to do, and then a bunch more work. But only 3 more of that one thing, so that's good.
Yeah, that's good. 3 more of one thing.
Yeah.
Equals 3.
Oh, I have a video to share with you guys.
All right, what do you got?
Give us a link.
Super quick recommendation. My friend Ben Eady is a prop and effects guy who's working up in Vancouver on a really big movie right now. But he does a lot of really cool tinkering and innovating, and I'm dropping a link in the chat right now for his foam chainmail.
Oh, cool.
So if you look up Ben Eady, Eadie, over on YouTube, and look up EVA foam chainmail, he's been laser cutting and die cutting thin sheets of EVA foam into strips that can be woven into chainmail, and I think it's really cool.
Huh.
That is cool. Looking at the close-up picture of it on the, oh, look at that. Wow. Yeah, I mean, there's no way this has to be done with laser cut. There's
Right.
no way to like manually
I mean,
that sort of thing. I mean,
You could.
there's a way, but you absolutely go crazy doing it.
yeah.
Yeah, you drive yourself
Jeez.
nuts.
Wow.
Hey, look at this guy. He seems nice.
Yeah, Ben's cool. He does a lot of he likes to invent stuff. He invented a little saw for EVA foam using basically it's a repurposed tattoo gun that he turned into a little saw.
Oh, that's cool.
Really, really clever. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
And then the foam chainmail thing is really, really neat.
He looks like I could be related to him. It's freaking me out.
The process of joining those two pieces of foam just looks like it would be like the most time consuming. Like,
Yeah.
I gotta get each curl around this other curl, and
I think it's like knitting, except the product is way cooler. That's what I think.
This is really cool.
Pretty rad.
I mean, kind of makes me think. I know it wouldn't be as bendable, but I could 3D print chainmail like this. Like, you know,
Yeah.
there's all these people who say, "Oh, here's how you can do chainmail and with 3D printing. You've got to do a lot of joining and connecting and stuff like that. But you could almost do one piece chainmail.
Definitely,
like this. Yeah.
One Piece. You don't mean the anime One Piece, which might make that
One
clear.
Piece, One Punch Man.
Yeah. I've never watched One Piece. Is it One Piece? Yeah. There's an anime called One Piece.
I don't know about that one.
I think. Isn't it a little pirate?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Freaky little pirate guy or something. I don't know. Anime and I don't.
I'm a bigger fan of Three Piece.
Oh,
It's about,
is it Three
it's about
Piece? Yeah,
suits.
yeah. You like a nice vest?
Yeah,
a
yeah.
good vest is good. Chat room says it's dumb. Okay, good. Well, there you go. Always fun to hang out with Bill. Bill Duran, everybody. Punishprops.com. Of course, his YouTube channel is also Punish Props, and you can find him there. You can also find him on Twitter at Chinbeard. Bill, have a fantastic day.
Take it easy.
Bye now. All right. Justin Robert Young. This is going to be interesting. I hope. I don't know where he's at. Maybe a hotel room or a.
Is he right? Might be in a hotel. He might be on the floor. He might be man on the street going up to people and saying, "Hey, who'd you vote for?"
Yeah, it could be any of those things. We don't know.
Yeah.
But we're going to play this and find out.
The jury will now retire.
Wrong link.
These are their stories.
Oh, I'm terrible with names.
Really need to remove where that's located. Justin Robert Young in a. Oh, look at where he is. Look at this. What is this?
Cozy fire.
You're by a fire.
Oh, yeah, baby.
The Hilton Gardens Inn.
What the heck, man? That's awesome. What is this? Your hotel? Is this a hotel room?
This is my hotel. So I randomly booked on Hotwire, and I get to check in, and the lady's like, "Oh, you're in the fireplace suite?" And I'm like, "What?" She's like, "How did you get this?" And I'm like, "I don't know what you're talking about." And she's like, "Well, whatever you booked on, they got the best room in the hotel." So
wow.
Against all odds, booking from my phone in a panic like 3 weeks ago, I wound up scoring in a every 4 years crush for hotel capacity, apparently one of the best rooms in Manchester, New Hampshire.
That's amazing. I love that.
So you guys get the benefit. You guys get the benefit of getting my
Fireside chat. Fireside chat with Jerry.
Yeah.
That is so great. I love it when stuff like that happens.
It's like the room that the Bachelor gets when he's down to 6 women.
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
Right.
yeah. And he gets those overnight visits.
Uh-huh.
Right. Exactly.
We know how those go. Well, this is great. So you are in New Hampshire, as I keep saying, for the primaries there. It seems like a lot going on, but also a little less banana time than what happened in Ohio. Not Ohio.
Well, we'll
Iowa.
see. I mean, because nobody thought that Iowa was going to be Iowa until Iowa itself last week. But
well said.
This time we are New Hampshire is a lot less complicated. This is just walk into a room, place your vote, you're done.
Yeah.
Iowa has a caucus system, which is just a little bit more of a process to go through. So now we should have results tonight. Barring something bizarre, this should be like a normal night where people go do a thing during the day, and then by the end we know what happened.
So at this point we don't know early results or anything. We have no idea who's leading or doing.
Well, yes and no. No, we don't know like real results, but there are a few crazy little towns in New Hampshire that vote at midnight. including the Fort one, which the first one, which I believe is Fort or Mount Dix. Sorry, I'm not fun to know it.
Yeah.
But they lived up to their name as they gave Michael Bloomberg, who is not even running in this state, their 2 votes.
Oh, wow.
Write-in votes. Yeah, it was funny.
I didn't know that. That's hilarious. So, okay. Was that before or after this weird audio got released of him freaking out or whatever? Did you hear about that?
Well, apparently that's going to be a steady stream. Whoever's locked up all of the Michael Bloomberg defending stop and frisk audio, I assume that we are going to get a steady drumbeat of that specifically, since there were polls that came out 2 days ago saying that he was surmounting Joe Biden as the preferred candidate of Black Americans. We will see how long that lasts, as he is out there saying that police should just Xerox a photo of one black suspect so they can hunt down literally and frisk them for guns, because they most usually have them.
Why would you say that? I mean, and know that you're saying it and knowing it's coming out of your mouth. Like,
well, that was a closed door speech for which he did not allow any video. So that is surreptitiously recorded audio. But at that point, he was defending the stop and frisk program, which was eventually repealed. He has since apologized for, but disproportionately targeted young Black New Yorkers. And, that was his thing. He stuck with that for a very long time.
wow. Jeez. All right. I just, not that I think you should always just be transparent anyway, but if you're going to go into a room and you're like, no cameras, you need to know somebody somewhere is going to, this is the world we live in. We're all being recorded. Don't assume.
You still don't say things that would get you in trouble if there were cameras.
Exactly.
Well, and also, it's like there was another video that came out today of him on a radio show saying that comparatively to murder rates, that he believed that white people were being stopped too much. And that minorities were should be stopped more.
Nice,
so we are just beginning the treasure trove of Michael Bloomberg's stop and frisk audio, because he's the mayor of New York. He's on the record plenty, and somebody's got all the receipts, and it looks like we're just starting to get them.
Okay, but do you think somebody in his campaign's like, don't worry about it there, Bloomberg, we got this, because remember Trump had his sexy grab him by the pee deal, and that didn't even ding him. Don't worry, these tapes mean nothing. Do you think it's some of that talk's going on?
Oh, I have no idea. The Bloomberg campaign baffles me from stem to stern. So I don't know what they're saying to each other right now. I mean, theoretically, if they want to be president, they should be here in New Hampshire, because that's traditionally how presidents are minted, is you go to Iowa and New Hampshire.
Right. Yeah. I get the feeling they think that because other precedences have been broken or were broken.
Look, if you think that you're going to Trump moves because Trump is very competent at creating news. I don't know if Bloomberg is that competent at creating news in the way that Trump is. So we'll see.
He's creating a lot of news right now with a lot of old tapes. I guess that's one way. All right. So have you gotten to like brush hands with anybody, like bump into Klobuchar and have her go, "Oh, pardon me, sir. You're a handsome bearded man."
I have not specifically. I mean, I've been in the presence of a lot of candidates, but I have not touched their hands, if that's what you're asking. But no, I was at a Bernie breakfast yesterday morning. I was at a Klobuchar rally in Exeter, and then I ended the night doing a Pete rally, which I wanted to then go. Bernie had the rally I really wanted to go to, which was a concert by The Strokes, who announced that they have a new album coming out in April. And then ended their set by playing New York City Cops, which got cut from their album back in the 2001 because 9/11 happened, and people were very happy about New York City Cops at that particular moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, Pete's rally went late, so I wasn't able to do it. So now I'm predicting Bernie wins by 10.5.
I saw on Twitter it was like an hour and a half late. What was the reason? He had a big crowd too, right? Like things were
just
nuts.
Campaign stuff.
Okay.
I think the New Hampshire is very weird. Like everything is either 20 minutes or an hour and a half away. So, he went from where we were in Milford and then took an hour drive to Exeter, which is where I was for the Klobuchar event, where he was introduced by Kevin Costner. So he made other people even later out in Exeter.
The Mariner introduced a candidate.
The Postman.
Yes. He is. Yeah, he's out there. Which is weird that he did it in New Hampshire and not Iowa because of Field of Dreams. You would have thought he would have been a better surrogate in Iowa, but I guess they didn't need him then. He's there to support him now, and they are very happy about it. The big news on the ground right now is that Joe Biden is not going to be here tonight.
Oh,
he is leaving New Hampshire right now to go down to a rally in South Carolina, which is now where he is going to stake his do or die claim. Remains to be seen exactly whether or not he'll even make it to South Carolina as a candidate.
Yeah.
But he is leaving New Hampshire, and that is a white flag rare in this particular moment because we're at noon local time. There's a lot of people that haven't voted.
Yeah.
And if you are a Biden voter,
yeah.
If you are a Biden voter and you hear, oh, he's not even going to stay here for the results, he doesn't think he's going to win. Well, if I don't like Biden or I don't like Bernie, now's the time that I throw in my lot with either Klobuchar or Pete. We might see whatever, right now Biden was polling around 10, 11%. That could be 10, 11% that whatever has not voted up to this point, that could say, all right, well, he's effectively given up.
Yeah.
So let me go find somebody else.
Yeah, that's crazy. I feel like he's the Jeb Bush of this election a little bit, just a little bit. Not exactly the same as
there are Jeb vibes.
Not a fan.
There are certainly Jeb vibes. The Biden is unique, obviously, in his own folksy kind of way. I was at the event in which he called a supporter a lying dog-faced pony soldier. So that was something that I could say is crossed off my bucket list.
Oh wow.
Wait, were you at the thing where he was having all those kids sing? Did a song or whatever? There's a video floating
No,
around.
I was not there for the Biden's back. All right, although I did tweet that out. So
You got to see it, Brian. It is
that sounds
cringy.
horrible.
It's cringy. The definition of cringy. It's terrible. Terrible.
It's cursed.
Yeah.
It is a cursed a piece of video
Yeah.
that one day will be cataloged by archaeologists.
Yeah, it's really bad. But all right, so the other thing I was going to tell you is I had a dream that Buttigieg won all this and became president, and they called him Petus instead of POTUS. So it was like, hey, where's
Petus?
Petus.
Petus.
Get it?
It's funny because although funny you should mention that this is like the Bachelor suite. Unfortunately, I do not have a bunch of very eager young women clamoring to copulate with me, but rather only one solitary Andrew Heaton from the Political Orphanage podcast. But
Andrew, will you accept this rose?
Yeah. Previously on an episode of the PX3 show, I had him on to try to create the names, supporter names for people that didn't have them yet. And he had one controversial one for Pete Buttigieg. We wound up going with Pete Nix, but the initial just no wrong answers guess was the pedos.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, I can see why that one might not be as popular.
Again, no wrong guesses in brainstorming, but I don't think that one caught on. But maybe if he wins for president,
it's worse if you said it'd be worse if it was full on pedophiles. That'd be worse, right?
Yeah. Well, Jesus Christ, Scott. Let's not slander the man. It was just like Nito, right? It's pedo.
What else did you guys come up with? Like, do you have one for Klobuchar, or does she already have her follower nicknames?
The Klobuchar ones don't have it, but and I can't remember offhand if we came up with one in that podcast. But I very much enjoyed the Klobazards. I feel like
that's good. Yeah,
that's what a Charizard evolves into, is a Klobazard.
Yeah,
exactly.
Klobazard.
Although there is a thing about Klobementum. Klobementum is something that is for real uttered with a straight face in New Hampshire and Iowa. So although I didn't see much of it in Iowa, I certainly saw it yesterday. I am a known and prolific Klobuchar hater. I do not think that she has a shot at anything. I thought it was an embarrassment that was worthy of her dropping out, that she finished in 5th place in Iowa, considering she's from a neighboring state. If she wasn't going to win in the Midwest, I didn't think she had a chance out here. And yet, there I was at an Exeter rally. She was giving the most confident stump speech that I've seen out here on the road. And I do think specifically with Biden officially like chucking deuces and getting the hot hell out of town, she does have a shot to get 3rd place over Elizabeth Warren, who in terms of the vibes out here has been by and large invisible.
Yeah.
Wow.
So is it wrong for me to assume that when Martin Landau, the late great Martin Landau, vomited, the sound he would make when he barfed was Klobuchar? Do you think that's probably true? You probably just let that.
I feel like that is the kind of hot take that New Hampshire has not yet seen, and now we have on the record. And I'm very thrilled that we are at this point in history.
Well, it's a big moment for everybody. All right, I got one final question about what was it going to be? Oh, Andrew Yang. Any sign of the Yang Gang or any? Is
the
he?
Yang Gang, yeah.
Yang Gang is out here. I think that you will see Yang with a higher percentage in New Hampshire than you did in Iowa for a couple reasons. Number one, he went to school out here in Exeter, which is a huge prep school town. Number two, a primary is a lot easier for insurgent candidates. Basically, in Iowa, because of how the caucus works, you insurgent. Like there's like a big hump you have to kind of get over to really make a splash in Iowa. In New Hampshire, there's no second realignment. You don't have to do things publicly. So if you just are a hardcore Yang Ganger, all it takes is walking into the booth, hitting a button, leaving. And so I think you'll see more of a Yang Gang impression here. That being said, the real question about his candidacy is where he is going to endorse eventually. He has a very passionate online audience, obviously.
Yeah.
He does have support, specifically in a kind of crossover lane. He has flirted. Yang personally has said that he believes a lot of his supporters might support Bernie. Last night, I noticed that Pete Buttigieg's campaign director and Yang's campaign manager were kind of retweeting each other. So who knows exactly what that means, but that's really the next step forward with Andrew Yang.
I like Andrew Yang. I think he's kind of cool.
I'll tell you, Heaton went to his rally. So I went to the Klobuchar rally. Heaton went to the Yang rally. And Heaton fell in love. Like he officially endorsed Yang on Twitter this morning. So I think that he is by and large, I don't know if anybody would disagree, is probably the most likable candidate. I will be very excited if after he drops out, he remains a presence in the media, because I think he is somebody that is very, very likable.
I think that's what I like about him. It's funny to say that. He's likable. That's why I like him. But he just seems like somebody I could have a reasonable conversation over lunch with and wouldn't annoy me, or doesn't have a bunch of tics that drive me crazy, or all that.
If he stays in the public eye, he doesn't get to be president, but he stays in the public eye, do we still get our $1,000?
I mean, it's more likely, right? Because I do think that he's going to be a hot endorsement. I don't know if anybody who brought him on would also then bring on the UBI thing.
Right,
but
exactly. Yeah.
I do think that whoever brings him on, the trade-off will be that they will explore UBI.
Right.
Sure. That will be like, he will be on an exploratory committee for future possibilities, that a report will be written, top men will be assigned, so UBI can be thought of and then discussed.
All right. Well, before we get ourselves out of here, let all the people know where you're going to be, what you're doing, where you want their eyeballs for the remainder of this week.
So, obviously, the Politics podcast is where you want to be. We have our big results breakdown episode tomorrow. I'm going to be working hard on that tonight and tomorrow morning to get that up for everybody. But in the meanwhile, if you want to get a sense of what is happening in New Hampshire right now, then head on over to takepoliticsseriously.com. That is my Patreon for PX3. I have not one, but 2 episodes that are up there. If you are in the $3 level with sound from Bernie, Klobuchar, Pete, and Biden. Oh yeah, no, the Biden event, which we're in. Boy, if we are in the dying days of the Biden campaign, sample this vintage while you can, because it is weird stuff. He in this one campaign stop that I went to, it was my first in New Hampshire. He goes bizarrely 30 minutes of talking about domestic violence. Like obliquely about the fact that he had the Violence Against Women Act several years ago, but goes on about how, you know, the rule of thumb, which apparently is apocryphal, but what was a medieval rule that you could beat your wife with a rod as only the circumference of your thumb. And that's the same rally where he calls a supporter a lying dog-faced pony soldier. And you can hear that live audio and the question that brought it up if you are a Patreon supporter at TakePoliticsSeriously.com. But it's also a good investment because from here, I go to Nevada. From Nevada, I go to South Carolina. From South Carolina, I go back to California for Super Tuesday and then off to Florida, which will probably be a big moment where we will know who our nominee is. But now is the time to get in on the PX3 hype train to be a part of it. But take your ass on over to TakePoliticsSeriously.com.
Do it. Justin Robert Young, Justin R. Young on Twitter. Make sure you follow him there. Always good stuff coming out of this. And it's rad. It's just fun watching all this stuff. So good work, man. It's going good.
Oh, yeah. And Instagram. I'm doing a lot of Instagram stories. So if you want to get like a sense of it on the ground, that's Twitter and Instagram are really the place to follow me, and you get that for free.
All right. Well, don't burn yourself on that fire back there. We'll see you later. He looked around. Nice. I was gonna say it before we left, and I forgot. But I'll say it to you. Do you get the feeling maybe this Biden stuff worked? Do you know what I'm saying? Like all of this weird
part of the
investigation,
the homie Joe kind of like shucks.
No. I mean like all the Trump shit about the investigations and everything that drove this impeachment and everything, but just constantly having Biden's name and his son in the news and
it probably
in such
does
negative
cause
light.
some. Yeah, I mean it probably does cause some.
I think it worked.
Subconscious concern among.
I think they did a thing.
Even if they don't believe what Trump is alleging, there's a stink on there that's like, you don't want to back a candidate that Trump is going to have a perceived advantage or a perceived dirt on, right?
Yeah. I think it just straight up worked. I think there was I think it was a strategy, and it was an expensive strategy, and it worked. I think that's what happened. They took out the front runner. Well done, guys. Well done. All right. Well, on that depressing note, let's move on. Hey, how about this? I'm going to play a bonus mashup today because I want
bonus.
to. Yeah, I want to. There's nothing stopping me. This is actually put together by a fan of TMS mashups. He sent this to him, so Jamie got a mashup from a fan of his mashups, and he thought it was so good, he said, you should play it here on the show. So now I'm gonna.
Snake is eating its tail.
Yep. I want to thank Peter Brinkman, who sounds like a total like news anchor. I'm Peter Brinkman.
Peter Brinkman here.
Yes, Peter Brinkman with this night's news. Anyway, he's put this together. It's just called a guest mashup. Enjoy.
2 cents short, Brian. Have you ever been 2 cents short on something? Like if you're at a gas station, they're like, we're 2 pennies short. And they just say things like, I'll take it out of a little cup. Right, exactly. They get the little cup, or, sometimes they get the Jerry's Kids thing, and you can turn that upside down, shake some money out of there. Was it turd blanket? Turd monkey. Turd monkey, not turd blanket. F you and the monkey you rode in on. You can't come out with a fictional movie, talking about the beginning of something too close. Right. So it's like, all right, well, I'm doing one for chat roulette, and it's going to be called Yes, That Is My Penis. I'm more into this weird, short, curly-haired, semi-gay, sweating to the oldies guy that we have now. Bye-bye. Was he... I don't know. In their shot-filled road trips, to Seaside Heights. Or from to Seaside Heights for what? We need legislation and other bull crap.
What the frick, dude?
Oh my god, that is so damn funny.
I didn't hear it before. I had no idea it was just a slowdown
It was
thing.
just all drunk Scott and Brian.
That's
slowed down.
really good. Oh man, he has a place in mashups.
I think what's good is it doesn't infringe on TMS mashups territory. We have a whole new thing where it's
oh yeah,
drunk Scott and Brian.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he needs to do more of those if he's inclined to do it.
Exactly. Yes.
That was really something. All right.
There's room for both of you on that pedestal.
That's right. And if you work together, even more so. So let us know how that goes. All right. We're done with the show. That's it, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow with recommendals and Tom and all that stuff. So a regular Wednesday. Plenty of good stuff coming up. I have a recommendal tomorrow that I'm excited to talk about. So yeah, I watched a thing. Let's put it that way.
Cool. I should probably watch a thing because I don't want to use season 1 of Rebels. Star Wars Rebels is my thing since we've talked about that ad nauseum on this show.
That is a very good. I like that show a lot. I think
I
Rebels
do too.
is good.
It's way better than it has any right to be. I mean, it's it's good. We assumed it would be good, but I didn't realize how good it would be. It is really, really good.
And that's just season 1. Apparently, season 2 things really pop off, which is right where I'm
now we
about
got
to start.
Vader involved.
Yeah, there's some Vader
and Ahsoka and
Vader involvement. Oh yeah. And plus, I guess
Vader tangent.
We get all kinds of cool backstory on that dark blade thing that showed up in The Mandalorian.
Yes.
So that's cool. Anyway, we'll talk tomorrow about our recommendations. Also, a reminder that we are supported by you fine folks at patreon.com/TMS. If you head on over there now, you can easily become a patron, for as low as $1 a month. $1 a month for all this content. Plus, you get TMS PM.
Oh, it has to be like this. Oh yeah, it's gonna only cost you $1 a month.
Yeah, why does it always sound echoey? It must be like
because of the way that it stretches out the audio. It creates a little bit of a reverb sound.
Reverb.
Or refurb.
A reefer sound. Yeah, smoke weed every day. So anyway, patreon.com/TMS. You get the free TMS or the TMS PM episode, which happens on Fridays. You only get that if you're a patron now. So head on over there and do that. You also get some bonus content every day. And you may have noticed if you're a patron and you're getting the audio version of the show, you're now getting all of that mashed up in one file today. Every day on the patron feed, if that's how you're getting your show. So you can still get it the old way if you want, but all that stuff's right there. All right. Frogpants.com/TMS for everything else. And I think that's it. Yeah. Brian, do you have anything else? And if you don't, will you play a song?
I don't have anything else. I will play a song.
Great.
So this one goes out to Zoe Brings Bacon, our very own in the chat room. I didn't get a chance to play her a song last couple days on the show because we had other things that, like emergency ones, or not emergency ones, but dedications that were very timely. But she says, "Hi, sausage and bacon. Thursday, the 6th of February is my birthday," she says. Also Tina's birthday. Yay. I rarely bother celebrating it, but this year I would love to have a song dedication. I've not been well for a couple of weeks and not able to go out at the moment, so this would cheer me up enormously. Scott, could I hear the long version of Veronica's Sausage, please?
Of course. In fact, I pulled it out so that I pulled it out. I have it at the ready. Sausage. At least I think it is. Oh, did I not do that yet? Maybe I didn't. All right, well, I'm doing it now. So here we go. It's easy to do. You want the long version of the sausage.
It keeps getting longer.
Yeah, it keeps getting longer. Here we go. I'm going to play it now, and I'm also going to copy it over. All right, there we go. Now it's permanently in our regular list. Here we go.
Oh, good. Okay.
Sausage.
Yeah, and it's good that we played it today because it was perfect matchup to that that mashup. So nice job.
It totally was. Yeah. And she says, "Thank you. And could you please tell the Tadpool and everyone in chat to keep being awesome?" Well, you just did that, so well done. Signed, your biggest fan, Zoe Brings Bacon. Oh, well, we love you, Zoe, and hope you are feeling better. Hope you're doing better.
Yep.
And we'll be able to go outside if you haven't been able to yet. Hope you'll be able to go outside soon. She had a couple of requests. One of them was Fireflies by John Barrowman, Harkness, Captain Harkness from Doctor Who and all that. That one, unfortunately, only live versions and record on people's smartphones. So it didn't quite work. But she also mentions that one of her favorite bands is ELO and wanted a cover of an ELO song. Oh boy, do I have ELO covers. I've got them all ways to Sunday. And this is a great one. Here is Meyer Hawthorne from his cover EP from 2011 called Impressions with his version of ELO's Mr. Blue Sky.
This show is part of the Frog Pants Network. Frog Pants Network. Get more shows like this at frogpants.com.
There's a dead body in my bed.
Ugh.
Ew.
Okay. Jeez.
Yeah, that was from the